Sally Armour Bentley. I was born on the southeast side of Grand Rapids. In 1968, I was married at 21 years old. We were married 48 years, and I'm a widow. We had 5 successful children. 4 are master teachers, and 1 is a medical doctor. I have 16 grandbabies. I graduated from Grand Valley State University with a master's in education. I am a retired Grand Rapids public school teacher. I taught in the inner city of Grand Rapids. I was baptized an infant in 1947 at South Congregational Church. My parents and older sister, we attended the church. My sister and I went to Sunday school, and I sang in the choir. I was exposed to Catholicism because there were a lot of Catholic families in the neighborhood, and I admired their family unit. Lorraine and I, when we were 10 years old, we would go downtown and went into a Catholic store where there were a whole lot of holy cards. We would purchase a holy card, and we would walk up and down Monroe, and we would say, "Good morning, sister," or "Good afternoon, sister," and they would smile at us and say, "Hello, girls." In 1966, at 19 years old, I was given an ultimatum by my future husband. David's father was in the seminary at Wealthy Street Baptist Church, and he was asked to leave due to differences in religious beliefs. They taught Bible classes, there were elders in this group, and they read only the New Testament. I did not celebrate Christmas. There wasn't any outward worship. And after David's death, after my husband's death, I wanted a spiritual, personal journey that I could call my own. And God was wooing me through this journey. I moved to Granville, and I met Mr. Paul Weber, a devout cradle Catholic man, and we would talk about religion. I was very curious, and I asked about purgatory, free will, predestination, and the Eucharist. We went on an adventure to St. Isidore, St. Peter and Paul, St. Adalbert's, and the beautiful St. Andrew's, and I felt God's presence. And then, 1 mile away from where I live, St. Pius X. I attended the 6-week adult formation classes. Last summer, I called the office, and my new friend, Agnes Barker, I asked if she would go with me to talk to Father Stephen. I had never talked to a priest before, and I was nervous. This was July 30, 2021. Father Stephen spent 1 hour, and my first question was, would I have to memorize everything? He replied and gave me the advice to read The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. This was a starting point upon good and evil, grace and judgment. He left me with 2 profound statements. 1, our past gets us to where we are today. And if you believe and you have Christ in your heart, you are okay. 2 weeks later, I started the RCIA classes. The highlights of the RCIA classes for me was researching on the saints, and I decided upon Saint Rita of the Impossible, a persistent widow. The rite of election was wonderful. I shook the bishop's hand, or he shook mine, and he said, "You are so happy." I learned a great deal with the Stations of the Cross, the 3 scrutinies, the 40 days of life. I was 2 hours on Fulton, and the day retreat. I had never been on a retreat, and the Easter Vigil, my confirmation, and the 7 gifts, capital G, the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit, and receiving the Eucharist. And now, I belong to something I am a member of something. I can worship in his presence. I can kneel, pray, bow my head, sing his praises, feel the Holy Spirit, and rejoice. God's love has given to me joy, peace, and happiness, and I can receive the Eucharist. I have a smile on my face that the bishop saw and Father Stephen sees. I have the beginning of forever. And I thank God, Father Stephen, Paul Weber, the RCIA team, and St. Pius X Parish family. They are wonderful, beautiful believers, and thank you for embracing me unconditionally.